How many of you are ready to fail? They have to learn to do everything in life. No work is small or big. If tomorrow you cannot earn money, then what is the point?
Education, it's losing its value in India because बहुत लोग बोलते हैं, corporate sector बोलता है कि unemployable students बाहर निकल रहे हैं. I feel थोड़ा सा ना you need to be mad.
Yes.
थोड़ा सा पागलपन चाहिए.
Yes.
To go against the
Yes.
grain.
Of course.
Keep trying because you never know what will bring you luck.
Exactly.
Dr. Abhishek Bokey is a young politician with a passion for policymaking and improving educational opportunities. He's particularly committed to helping students from disadvantaged backgrounds and remote areas to achieve their full potential. Abhishek has mastered from Sheffield in international business, then he did his MBA in HR from Pune University, and he's also done his PhD that focuses on employee engagement in sugar industries and cooperative sector. On this episode, Abhishek and I spoke about the mindset of students from non-metro India, future of young professionals in a highly competitive place like India, career politics में बनाया जा सकता है कि नहीं, social entrepreneurship as a career option for you, and some lessons in politics that might come in handy at your work. I'm Anirudh and I host this podcast. I also run Superwork, a podcast production company. With this podcast, I hope to bring forward unique insights and perspectives on work, life, and success. Let's start the episode. It's a very unique combo of having someone in education and politics working together.
Well, most of them are in education and politics, if you see.
But at least you're like the first one
Yes,
on the show.
I'm
So
the first of my family.
lovely. Very interesting. ये तो जरूर जानना है. How did you get into education and politics? So I think you got into education first.
Education.
And you, of course, you're still heading academy institutes.
Correct.
So tell me more. How did you get into education and politics?
So my parents have nothing to do with education.
Huh.
My father is a retired cop. He was an IPS officer.
Lovely.
My mother was an interior designer. She stopped now. But since my childhood, I've had this thing of doing something where I can give back to the society. I always wanted to do something where I could help people or, so that was inside me. And education was never in my mind, very honestly. But during my college days, that time social network and all this social media was nowhere.
Yeah.
So by fluke, I happened to join Rotaract.
Okay.
Those youth groups.
Right.
And there I came in contact with a lot of different people who are now friends of mine, and I used to interact with them, and they were from different industries. They were from the hotel industry, from the construction line, from education and all these things. And then I realized that, education is something that is the future. Education has a power to change many things. Education will give a lot of, new, how should I say, new ideas, avenues, So then I thought of getting into education, but that was, nothing was happening. And I then went to UK for my master's in international business. And there in Sheffield, I used to see how they are teaching, what is their methodology of academics. In 2004, imagine that time they had started calling management as a science. So my degree from UK is MSc, is
Oh, wow.
Masters in Science of International Business and Management.
Wow.
Now, when I asked them that, why are you calling it as science? Because they said this is research. Management is research. You have to keep on doing research. That struck me. I said, this is something new. After I came back, I wanted to start an MBA in 1 year MBA, which my master's was a 1 year MBA. So I wanted to do 1 year MBA, start 1 year MBA. But Pune University and the government laws didn't allow me to do that. So then I was again, trying to understand what to do. Slowly, I started reading about it. What is AICT? What is Pune University? What is DT? All these government, all the government organizations and all. Then I started meeting these educationists, I had the leverage. I was lucky enough to meet Navle sir of Siagad and everyone. And all of them gave me their advice, which was, I wouldn't say everything was positive. There was negative as well, that why are you starting? There's no future and all these things.
हर चीज में रहता है कि सोच लो.
Correct. But one brand that has, had an impact on me is Symbiosis. maybe I finished my graduation from Symbiosis and all. And I like the idea why Shri Muzumdar sir started Symbiosis, that whole idea where it came from. And then what happened was I went and met him. And he gave me the best advice of my life. He said, look, Abhishek, you need not talk to anyone. Just start with a bang. The more you talk to people, they're going to confuse you. That struck me. I said, I'm not going to meet anyone now. I picked up a job in Flame University. That time Flame was just new.
Yeah, that was
It was
naya
new.
concept. That was
Correct.
very popular.
Liberal education was something that was nowhere.
Correct.
I picked up a job there. I worked there as an assistant in the Flame School of Communication, and I was handling right from their admission to their academics to the whole season till the convocation. Then I got to learn a lot of things. Then in 2009, we started. I had we had invested in a property, so I had a few acres of land. Out of that, I kept aside. My mom said that okay, we will start on this piece of land. Then the whole process started of forming a trust, because we are a trust. The name Akemi. Akemi is a Japanese name, which means bright. Now, in that thing also, I did my research, because I didn't want to say education is a process. You keep on learning through your life. Akemi means bright. You have to have a bright future. We all want to have a bright future, right?
Correct.
So there is that continuity in the name.
Yeah.
Like I said, symbiosis was something that had an impact.
Correct.
Symbiosis means it's a biological term.
Correct.
There is process in that name. It doesn't end anywhere.
Yeah.
Similarly, Akemi came into this thing, and it sounds familiar to academy also, if you see.
Yeah.
So a lot of people used to ask me, what is Akemi? Is it Abhishek, knowledge? I said, no, it's nothing like that. It's one word.
Yeah.
So then Akemi was something that came up. And then we formed a society called as Akemi Education Society. We registered. In 2010, we started with the construction work. And 11 was our first batch of MBA students. Was highly challenging, because that same year, the MBA market collapsed. It actually, the global market collapsed.
Correct.
And then it affected the
Education
industry as well. But we had to survive. It was a challenge for us. So we started admitting students who are already placed or doing jobs, And for many years, then we were grooming these students who wanted a career growth.
Correct. So executive education types.
Yeah, correct. So we used to have those kind of
Interesting.
students for many years, because we are close to the IT area, to PCMC.
Correct.
So we had a lot of students coming from that area. And then in 2020, I decided that now we will stop, admitting these students. We'll go in for some other, regular students, because unfortunately COVID happened in 2020, and then again we had we came back a little bit. Then last year, after both the COVID cycles were over, last year then we launched a MTP program, which was a slightly premium program, and by God's grace, yes, we've got good admissions this year.
Very good.
So that's how MBA started. In the meanwhile, 2019 we started with a junior college also. We have Arts, Science and Commerce,
Okay.
which is a state board. It's HSC. And this year we got permission to start BBA and BSc Cybercrime and Digital Science also.
Lovely.
So yes, so that's how the whole journey has been.
Awesome. Now let's talk about you getting into politics. So kya chakkar hai?
So politics was never on my mind, very honestly. I was never active in the college politics or anything like that.
Acha, never.
Never. I was never part of any organization.
Ever wanted to become a cop or
No, never.
get into architecture?
Never.
Okay.
Never. Because I'm not that kind of a person.
Huh.
You need different skills.
Yeah, of
I knew
course.
my skills.
Huh.
I knew where I would this thing. So, like I said, I always wanted to do something where I could help people, do something for the society. One of my friends, he's a MLC. He was appointed as the youth president of NCP in 2014-15.
Hmm.
And he just happened to call me, and he just gave me a responsibility. I had no idea that he's going to get me involved in the organization. I said, okay, I'll do it for you. That's not a problem. So we did that activity, and then I was traveling that time with my family. I went out. I came back, and again he called me to Mumbai. He said that there's this thing. So I told him that I'm not. I don't know about all these things. So then he said that no, I've been told to get you in the organization. So that's why you are a part of the party.
Okay.
So you have to start working. So in May 2016, they appointed me as General Secretary of Maharashtra State for the youth. I started my work, and I was enjoying it. And then in 2019, I was appointed as Vice President of the state till 2023. Last year, I became a part of the father body. So I'm no more in the youth body now. I'm in the main body now, which we call as a father body.
Right.
And then that's how politics happened. So it just happened. It was nothing planned. There was nothing that I had taken steps or anything like that. It just happened.
Okay. Interesting. We'll come back to politics though, but a little later. But education पे अभी बात करते हैं. Very interesting that you see a lot of kids in your college from the tier 2, tier 3 cities, towns of India. क्या mindset रहता है of these students? Of course, I mean, I'm sure they're, for them, going to a place like Pune is also like a big thing कि भाई बड़े city में पढ़ने के लिए जा रहे हो.
Correct.
Right? What's their mindset? What do they want in life? What are they trying to achieve? Tell me more. Like, क्या insights हैं?
See, they are, because they come from these small towns, the rural areas, they're slightly scared. They're confused as to how we are going to deal with the whole academic journey, how we're going to deal with life. They have a lot of many questions.
And very young, no? Like
They're
literally
very
20-year-olds.
young. Yeah. They're 18, 19-year-olds.
Correct.
So they have those, questions in their mind. But what happens is when they are in touch with our counseling team, we always ensure that our counseling team gives them that confidence that no, don't worry, we are there. So they always look for that one father figure, brother figure, mother figure in the counseling team. So they get comfortable with that person, and then it's easier for us to then sort of get them in the picture, and then start talking to them, start grooming them. Then they get comfortable. So initially they are in that zone of slightly scared. But this particularly, I don't want to say anything negative or anything. I mean, don't get me wrong, but this usually happens from the state of Maharashtra.
In what sense? Like what about?
This whole slight confidence issues are usually from the state of Maharashtra. Outside Maharashtra, the attitude is totally different. They
Like,
are
give me an
much-
example.
They are much more, I would
Outgoing,
say
outspoken. हाँ.
outspoken, outgoing.
हाँ, वो देखा है मैंने. Even I've noticed it. I've been to, like, of course, I'll not name colleges, but wherever I've gone for guest lectures, I've seen, and again, I'm not comparing it to Maharashtra, but I've seen kids from UP, Rajasthan, north of India, very industrious.
Correct.
कि पुणे में भी आके they're studying,
Correct.
but they're also doing some bit of entrepreneurship on the side. कि कोई तो भी कॉफी की टपरी चला रहा है. Someone is trying to do some work back home,
Correct.
but remotely कर रहा है, because obviously I mean now internet has made the word smaller.
Correct.
तो मतलब वो, I mean, I never thought of doing such stuff when I was doing my MBA.
No, we
Like,
never
सिर्फ
thought of
पढ़ाई तो मतलब सिर्फ पढ़ाई. But kids nowadays,
This fire in the belly is something that lacks. It lacks in today's generation. So
but वो comfort level बहुत ज़्यादा है क्या कि मतलब I've seen some students who are like very industrious, but a majority of young professionals at least, like चलो students को तो side में रख दो, when they get into the corporate world, they seem very laid back कि यार ज़्यादा काम मत कराओ. ठीक है, work life balance this and that. I'm not saying कि 8 घंटे के ऊपर काम करो, but when you are dedicated for those 8 hours, at least do your job well.
You have to do your job well.
You can't be like, just because the internet is there doesn't mean that you know everything. But of course, on the contrary, I've seen both sides. But is there a negative attitude or shift in the mindset कि यार सब कुछ easily चाहिए and
Yes.
like don't want to work hard?
Yes. I feel there is that shift in that attitude that सब जितना मेरे को easy मिलेगा
बेटर है.
better है.
But have you seen a shift from like students as well कि जल्दी से जॉब चाहिए, बहुत सारी सैलरी चाहिए, वो भी सब
हाँ,
expectations है.
हाँ. वही तो problem है.
But willingness to learn
Why
are they losing
No,
it?
they don't want to. Actually, see, learning is something that is self motivated. I feel if the more I learn, the more I will be able to survive in the corporate world. The problem is we are not ready to learn. We the students go with a mindset that मेरे को सब मालूम है.
Interesting.
A lot of times nowadays I see even when in the classroom when I always take a feedback from my faculty and I ask my faculty members that what kind of questions are they asking, are their questions relevant or not.
Correct.
So the 90% of the times they tell us that they once the subject is over they go on Google. They type in Google now because of your chat,
Gemini and
all these
ChatGPT.
things.
Yeah.
They get the list of questions and that they ask. So how many students are actually going in the library, reading books on that particular subject, reading articles on that particular, forming questions. See, asking the right question is also important. How many of us ask the right questions? We don't ask.
And how you reach to that question is also what matters.
Because the
now.
problem is nowadays the students feel that अरे लोग क्या कहेंगे? This whole लोग क्या कहेंगे has ruined lives. I'm telling you.
It's still very.
Yeah. It's still.
I thought
very
Gen Z
strange.
doesn't care about.
No. They show they don't care, but you try talking to them. You ask students whenever you interact with them that how many of you are ready to fail. Ask them this question. No one will put their hands up. When you will fail, that is the time you will learn. Failing is something that we as society look at in a very different way. But I think we have to learn to fail. And that is what I tell my faculty members also. That teach them that failing is fine.
Correct.
It's okay to fail.
Correct. But वो तो like anyways young kids will obviously वो उतना mindset या फिर उतना maturity आने में time लगता है. But so you're saying that they still want validation कि
Yes.
I am right and
Yes. So you have to handle them differently.
Very interesting.
You have
Very
to handle them differently.
interesting.
Otherwise they go, because see क्या होता है social media has impacted a lot of things psychologically. I always say that, I always tell, even when I talk to my students during the orientation program, induction program, I tell them that social media has to be used in the right manner.
Right.
Don't use social media to compare. Problem is we use social media to compare.
That is the worst.
अभी उसके लाइफ में बहुत चीज़ें नेगेटिव चालू रहेगी, पर वो एक फोटो डालेगा, आई एम ट्रैवलिंग एंड दिस एंड दैट, एंड सडनली यू विल सी दैट अरे ही इज डूइंग सो वेल इन लाइफ.
Correct. मैंने क्या गलत किया, मेरा क्या चल रहा है. हाँ. Correct.
We start comparing.
That is worst.
We cannot compare. True. So that's why that somewhere they need that validation. No, you're also on the right track. You're doing fine. That continues.
It's a part
this
of
thing. See,
life. all
how
that.
many young students are getting into depression? It's we've also gone through that age.
Correct.
We never got into depression.
Correct.
So it is very important. So I always tell that the schools play an important role in grooming this part of the student. That even if you fail, it's okay.
Kids are getting softer, you're saying? these days?
Yes. The will to survive, the fighting attitude, you see.
वो उधर जाएगा ऑफिस में काम करने के लिए, फर्स्ट जॉब, सेकंड जॉब, तो क्या
They
छोड़
find
के
it
भाग ही
difficult.
जाएगा ना.
They find it difficult.
In fact, you were telling me like before we started rolling कि lot of students have never showed up on the
They have
placement
not
only.
showed up. Yeah. There are different reasons.
But क्या दूसरी जगह जॉब मिला इसलिए या
नहीं,
फिर
नहीं.
it's just
It's just that they don't want to join. Maybe they're not happy with the company or they want a bigger brand. They have their own reasons.
अच्छा तो बैकअप के लिए हाँ बोल दिया, बट
Correct.
आज मूड नहीं है तो फिर छोड़ दो यार, कुछ और देखेंगे.
Correct. See how many, even if you nowadays, if you see a lot of CVs, you will see that every 6 months or 1 year, the person has changed their job. See, previously, the concept was if I've joined a company, of our grandfathers or our fathers, they used to be in that company. They started at a young age and they reached that level after 25, 30 years. The level of a vice president, CEO, whatever. They worked
Correct.
their way up. Now they don't want. Now if I'm an MBA, I want VP. I want CEO.
Huh.
I'm not looking at the position below that.
Correct. Correct.
That
Yeah,
that
that is
mindset.
there. In fact, funny enough, of course, I'm not going to mention the company name. I've seen in startup, two young kids got employed because obviously वो tier like hierarchy भी क्या रहता है
Correct.
startup में. तो those kids were riding high on the fact कि अरे I report to the CEO. मतलब अभी एक साल में वो उसके बीच में you'll have like five people between you and the CEO because obviously a startup grows, then more
Correct.
people get hired. And they got uncomfortable the moment they got two people got added to the layer,
Correct.
which was in fact good for them because जितना time CEO तुम्हारे साथ नहीं spend करेगा तेरे domain का तेरा manager can actually help you learn more.
Correct.
But उसको ego issue वो था कि मेरे को सीखना वेखना छोड़ दो, but
Yeah.
I tell my family and friends कि I report to the CEO.
That is what they want. That's why I said no. They
Funny.
don't want to learn. We are looking at different things. What is my position?
Crazy. And this is you're saying with tier 2, tier 3 ke kids as well, huh?
Yeah. It happens with them also because then they want to see you know, one of the main difference that I've seen is there is a group of students who are not shy to do any kind of work. They will do anything. You tell them and they'll do it because they want to survive.
Correct. ये Gen Z millennials सब है मतलब there's
सब
a
है,
breed
सब,
there
सब.
as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Yes.
there is a breed in this thing.
हाँ.
There is one. अरे मैंने ये किया तो लोग क्या कहेंगे? Like I said,
छोटा
this
काम
लोग-
है.
हाँ, छोटा काम है. लोग क्या कहेंगे? So there used to be an institute called Sadhana. उसके पिल्ले सर करके थे.
हाँ.
It was here only in Model Colony.
Correct. Popular
Pillai
place.
sir, yeah. Pillai sir was one of the founder members of Symbiosis. Symbiosis, when Muzumdar sir formed, they were 4-5
Founding
founding
members.
members. I think even Bala sir of Sai Balaji.
PIMM.
No, Balaji.
Balaji Institute.
Correct. He was also one of the members.
Correct.
Pillai sir had started an institute in Model Colony called Sadhana. I had seen that also. What he used to do, he used to tell his students they used to stay with, he had hostel accommodation facilities also. Every morning, once the student used to wake up, he used to tell them to clean the roads. Now this had become a news that time. It had come in the paper that ये students से ये करवा के ले रहे. And then after that, once you finish sweeping the roads, उनके सामने का polish your shoes, iron your clothes, all these things. So someone had asked him that, sir, you give all these jobs to do them. How do you manage to do this thing? So he said, look, they have to learn to do everything in life. No work is small or big. If tomorrow he cannot earn money, then what is the point?
Correct.
He has to learn to earn money. So that was the idea behind it.
Right. Absolutely.
So I always feel that we should not feel shy or we should not be ashamed of doing anything. Whatever work, the time comes, you have to do it. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely. And
No
then
work,
concepts.
no work defines you.
Yeah.
End of the day, your attitude, your you as a person your personality will define you.
Correct. Correct.
Ratan Tata, when he died, when he passed away, no one said that India lost an industrialist or a businessman. Everyone said India lost a great man.
Yeah. Absolutely. वो टाइटल तो बहुत बेसिक हो गया उस
India
बंदे के
lost
लिए.
a humble man, one of the greatest, and it was a personal loss to all of us.
Yeah.
We all mourned his loss
Absolutely.
because somewhere he was a part of our lives.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No, Ratan Tata didn't feel shy to even sit in a nano and go to Taj.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because he was happy. It's my brand.
Yeah. I've made it
He's
for
actually
India.
done it.
the
Yeah,
people of
he's
India.
actually
correct.
done it. So he didn't say, I own this car, so I'm going to go in this thing, or I own these airlines, I'm going to
Correct.
sit in this thing. So small things made him great. There was one post after he passed away, one Air Force, not Air Force, Indian airline pilot. She had posted on social media. There was a photo of she sitting on in the cockpit on the chair,
Next to Ratan Tata.
and Ratan Tata was standing.
Correct.
Right. So did you read that? by any
No,
chance?
but
Okay.
I've seen this photo. I haven't read through the whole
So
thing.
the story was that Ratan Tata was flying in that airline.
Right.
And then after the plane landed and all, she went and requested sir that, sir, I want to photograph with you. So he said, sure. So she said, should we click here? He said, no, we'll go to the cockpit. They went to the cockpit. He made her sit on the chair and he was standing. And then he said, this is, you've earned this.
Hmm.
This is your place. You've earned it. See, this speaks volumes of someone. You know?
Amazing. I've never got the opportunity to meet him. Yeah.
I,
I
even
feel bad.
I
yeah.
saw him once though. I saw
Oh,
him once in Mumbai, but I never got an opportunity to meet him.
Amazing. Amazing.
But see, these are the qualities that one needs to pick.
But वो वही है ना कि youngsters and even middle management, of course, it's worse. वो humbleness आता है when you go on the top. And I've seen, in fact, there's a company that, of course, I'll not name the company and the brand, but they're into selling everything that we consume, like biscuits and atta and like all the food products, and it's a very popular company. What I've heard from them, I had a lot of friends who were working for that group. The first day any top management joins, including the CEO to the VPs, first day pay, you have to go on the cycle and sell to the local shops. First 3-day assignment is cycle पे ये तुम्हारा stock है, जाओ बेच के आओ. A CEO, like towards the fag end of their career, who have like done everything. वो probably वो Bentley और Merc में बैठ के ऑफिस जाता रहेगा. वो बंदा 3 दिन साइकिल चलाता है, स्टॉक या फिर टेम्पो में बैठ के ड्राइवर के साथ माल लेके जाएगा.
Correct.
But of course, I mean, they don't just sell it for the sake of selling it, but the idea is they connect with the market.
Correct.
They understand what to do. And I don't think anyone will shy away doing that.
Correct.
I mean, obviously that's not their core job, but still, the idea is, boss, you have to understand what's happening on the ground
Correct.
first. और वो humbleness तभी आता है when you start doing the basic stuff, which again connecting back to what the professor was trying to do. So amazing. But वो ultimately, चलो ठीक है, time is a great equalizer for everyone, and obviously everyone learns either early or late in life. Now, in terms of these students, education, somehow is, it's losing its value in India because लोग बोलते हैं, corporate sector बोलता है कि unemployable students बाहर निकल रहे हैं. चलो soft skills तो फिर भी teachable across the spectrum. इंजीनियरिंग का तो बात ही नहीं करते, बिकॉज वो इंजीनियरिंग एंड डॉक्टर्स, द काइंड ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स हु आर एंटरिंग एंड कमिंग आउट, वो तो अलग डिस्कशन हो गया. बट टेल मी वन थिंग, यू आर ऑल्सो विथ योर इंस्टीट्यूट, यू आर ट्राइंग टू सॉल्व दिस होल प्रॉब्लम कि एम्प्लॉयबल स्टूडेंट्स बाहर निकलने चाहिए. इट्स, यू कांट बी जस्ट लाइक फीस लिया, तेरा करिकुलम कर ले, तो पास हो गया तो पास, फेल हो गया तो फेल. हाउ डू यू, एंड इन फैक्ट वेयर आर कॉलेजेस और एजुकेशन इन इंडिया going the wrong way? क्या हो रहा है exactly? क्या unemployable क्यों है students, first of all?
See, there are many reasons why these unemployability has become such a big issue. One, I won't blame the students in this. The faculty needs to be blamed. We are not getting good faculty.
पैसा नहीं है.
नहीं. The faculty needs to update and upgrade themselves. Unfortunately, the faculty does not do that. I'm talking about the teachers.
Right. But
I'm not talking about. Now, what happens is, if you see, a lot of colleges work on guest lectures. Who are these guest lectures? The people from the industry.
Correct.
Correct.
Practical knowledge देने वाले.
Practical knowledge they give. But college उनके ऊपर तो नहीं चल सकता.
Obviously.
You need. They are not hardcore teachers. See, teaching is a skill. Not everyone can do it. They are corporates. They give their practical insights to the students.
Correct. Theory to practical world लेके जाने वाला बंदा वो professor है college का.
Exactly. They might answer a question once, twice, thrice. Fourth time, they don't have the time to answer. It is wrong on our part also to tell them to continuously answer.
Correct.
But a teacher has to teach the students the concepts. A lot of times, a lot of things are not clear. The faculty needs to upgrade themselves. They need to understand what is happening in the market. Unfortunately, they are not getting updated, and the new faculty that is coming, they're too raw, they're too young. So there is that gap. Now, this is the academic part. Now, when the student is out, in that age, always tell them that they're confused. Society, peer pressure plays a very big role in the mindset in the lives of the students or anyone. Suppose if someone is doing specialization marketing, someone will say, "Arey, why are you doing marketing? There are no jobs. Look at IT." Arey, but if he wants to do marketing, let him do marketing. Why are you telling him? Now, if you say, it's a very common thing, "Sir, I'm doing MBA." Why are you doing MBA? There are no jobs. Arey, who's told you that MBA is for jobs? Why are you linking MBA to jobs?
It's ulta, in fact.
There's no connect.
You could become an entrepreneur as
Exactly.
well.
MBA is to learn the basic management skills.
Correct.
MBA is Masters in Business Administration. It is not Masters in Job Administration or whatever.
Correct.
Correct. We've linked.
Yeah.
See, in US, what happens is, now even when I did my PhD, okay, I did it from DY Patil. They might, being a deemed university, use my research as for their, internal use or whatever. That is their lookout. US में क्या होता है? You know why countries like US, UK are way ahead in terms of education when we talk? Is because they relate everything to the real world and academics. So if someone wants to do PhD, they will ensure that their research is of use to the country or to that specific community or to someone in the society. किया उसके बाद वो किधर तो भी रद्दी में फेंक दिया, ऐसे नहीं चलता है.
Correct.
So we are not focusing on all these areas, So there is that point. So coming back to your question, what happens is, if your concepts are not clear, you're not going to get employed. Now, if you've done your specialization in marketing, what is the future of marketing? Today we are talking about digital marketing. Gone are the days of door-to-door selling.
Correct.
Now everything is online.
Correct.
Technology changes 6 months, every 6 months, 1 year. You have to be upgraded to that. What is going to happen?
Correct.
For that, you have to learn. You have to understand. You have to talk to people.
Yeah.
Do we talk to people in the society? We don't.
Yeah.
We shy away from talking to them because what are we going to talk to them? Do we read? I always say that read whatever you want.
Correct.
The habit of reading has to be inculcated.
Absolutely.
We are losing that habit. We read WhatsApp messages.
WhatsApp University.
WhatsApp University. We're not reading books. We have to read books. Read the newspaper.
Yeah.
So we have this thing of every morning the students have to read the newspaper. We have it's kind of forcing them. So they know what is happening in the world. They have to have discussions. We give 1 hour of now we will start, but 1 hour some movie or some documentary will be shown to them.
Very good.
Then they have to come and give a presentation.
Yeah.
That thinking has to happen, whether it's critical thinking or any type of thinking has to happen. We've stopped thinking.
So true. दिमाग बंदी होगा ना. There's screen in front of your eyes all the time.
We don't think.
सुबह से उठने से रात तक there's a screen stuck to your eyes.
Correct.
I mean, tomorrow it will get worse because you could just wear it.
Correct.
And you don't need a phone then. Crazy. But sorry to offshoot a bit and come to teaching. And in fact, just last evening, I was having a conversation with a friend who also, in fact, teaches at Flame. And people like me, him, we've always enjoyed teaching. Although we've always been guest lecturers in MBA colleges, nahi to, for graduates. But वो teaching ऐसा profession है, मजा आ जाएगा. But पैसा नहीं boss.
नहीं ऐसे नहीं है. पैसा है.
हाँ.
If you see we
Not
pay,
like corporate jobs though.
हाँ वैसा नहीं.
Yeah, exactly. हाँ मतलब it's not कि ऐसा pennies you are earning and how hand to mouth situation वैसा नहीं है.
Correct.
But like I'll call myself young for the sake of liberty, but at this age you feel like अरे boss like अभी तो time है, बाद में energy नहीं रहेगा, so now you make as much
But
money
I'll
as
tell
you
you,
want.
if they are good faculty members, no, institutes will pay. Now we also pay a good amount per hour. There are good faculty members who earn good amount per hour.
Nice.
So in a month, if they do guest lectures, they like teaching. So they go to Symbiosis, they go to Indira, they'll come to Akemi, they'll go to DY Patil.
Correct.
In a month, they earn a good amount.
Give me the figure if you can. Like how much can people earn like doing?
People earn about 3,000 per hour also. 2,500 to 3,000 per hour also.
So 20 hours around a month they can earn 60, 70.
Yeah.
That's basic. Correct.
Now 20 hours is only what we are saying. But if they put in more effort,
they can
They
do a
cannot.
bit more. Correct, correct. Interesting.
Guest lectures may.
Yeah, but I feel somehow if obviously it's an equation ki capacity to pay the fees also is limited. But
Yes.
in fact, if teachers right from schools to colleges, if they start getting paid well, I'm sure there's a lot of talent that is willing to leave their corporate
Yeah,
jobs
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
and come to teaching
Absolutely.
because the joy of teaching is something completely different. Lovely. But let's come back to our main conversation now. So, students' ki employability, of course, we spoke about. Now, in general, what do you think? There are a lot of kids and even young professionals, not just students, who come from a bit of disadvantage. Either it could be social, it could be financial, and ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ disadvantaged professionals could be only from a small town. Metro में रहने वाला भी there are a lot of people who come from a bit of weaker financial background, which is okay. Somehow जो भी एडवर्स सिचुएशन होगा इट बॉग्स अ पर्सन डाउन कि अरे मेरा तो कुछ नहीं होगा आई हैव टू दिस इज हाउ माई लाइफ इज बट वो पॉजिटिव आउटलुक कभी रहता नहीं कि बॉस नाउ आई विल गो इन टू द वर्ल्ड एंड मेक अ चेंज एंड आई विल बी अ रिच पर्सन वन डे वैसा होता ही नहीं है एटलीस्ट आई हैव नॉट सीन इट बट टेल मी वन थिंग व्हाट्स योर एडवाइस फॉर एनी यंग प्रोफेशनल and across all financial and socio-economic backgrounds. What's your one advice that you would like to give them?
See, if a person has will to do anything, he can do anything. He can find a way through any, uh,
Adverse situation.
adverse situation. If someone wants to start a business, if he starts actually looking at the opportunities, he will get those opportunities. Now you have bank loans. They're sitting to give loans.
Correct.
You have private investors. You have to have that will that I want to do something.
Correct.
If you don't have that will, you will not learn or you will not move ahead. See, if you see IPL, the Indian Premier League, has given a big platform to these small town cricketers.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Now I'm involved in cricket also, so I meet a lot of young players, sportsmen who come from background where their parents don't even have money to buy shoes.
Correct.
They come from that background, but they have something inside them. No, I want to play. I want to play for Maharashtra. I want to get into the IPL team. Whatever. They don't sit. That अरे कैसे होगा क्या होगा. For example, look at Rinku Singh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came from humble
Rinku,
background.
Jaiswal.
Jaiswal. They come from very, very humble backgrounds. Look at MS Dhoni.
Correct.
He had that will. Once you have a will, once you have that, you know what you want to do, your roads are going to get opened. See, I'm a big believer of destiny. I always feel that, like I said, education was something that no one in my family, but if I would have said that, nahi, kaise hoga, nahi hoga, theek hai. I was lucky enough to have some foundation, some base given by my parents, but I had to struggle. I had to struggle because when we started, the markets collapsed, COVID happened. In spite of all these difficult times, we have struggled. So literally, mine is also a startup.
Correct.
Mine is a startup. I have not come with my father being an educational baron and, I've had multiple
बैठे ऐसा मिल
campuses.
गया.
हाँ. So I've also had my share of struggle.
Correct.
Right? So I always say that have the passion to do something in life. Have the will. You will definitely do. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
from which background you come, whether you see. I've been a big fan of Sachin Tendulkar. After he
Same
retired, I stopped watching cricket. I'll tell you, apart from he being one of the greatest batsmen, you know why he went that level, he reached that level. He groomed himself in all the aspects. Now, mind you, he's not someone who could speak fluent English. Look at his first interview that he gave in 1988 with Tom Alter.
Tom Alter.
Correct? He couldn't talk.
Yeah.
Now look at him.
Yeah.
Now did he say, इंग्लिश तो बैठे बैठे ना है ना कि मैं बैठा हूँ और कोई तो भी मेरे को आके सिखा रहा है. He groomed himself.
Correct.
He read. He probably must have had some English tutor. I don't know what.
Correct.
But today he's reached that level.
बंदे ने 10th भी नहीं किया शायद. I think
10th भी नहीं
10th
किया.
fail है.
Correct. Did he say no? That I'm 10th fail. He knew what he wanted to do. His only aim in life was to win the World Cup, which happened in 2011.
Towards the end of his
End
career.
of his career.
Crazy.
Correct? I'll tell you one more story. In 2011,
Yeah.
Rohit Sharma was not a part of the squad.
Hmm.
And he tweeted and he said, I don't understand why I'm not in the team.
Hmm.
He was upset.
Hmm.
Destiny plays I'm telling you, I'm a big believer of destiny. Destiny has its own way of giving back to you. And this happened in this 2024 World Cup.
World Cup, yeah.
Both the things I'll tell you now. Rohit Sharma was not a part of the 11, this thing. We won the 11 World Cup, but he was not there. 2024 gave him an opportunity to win the World Cup for India.
Correct. As a captain.
As a captain. Correct?
Correct.
2007, Rahul Dravid was in the squad. And in West Indies, we lost that World Cup. We were out, we played badly and we were out.
Pakistan जीता था
नहीं,
तभी शायद?
Pakistan नहीं. 2000, I think West Indies won probably.
Okay.
West Indies में था. I'm not sure as to who won. We were out and they were upset because Dravid was uh, at the end of his career. Saurav Ganguly was at the end of his. A lot of these stalwarts were retiring. Rahul Dravid got an opportunity as a coach. Last year after the World Cup loss, he was about to retire. He said, I'm not going to look into the Indian team now. I don't want to be a coach now and this and that. He was upset probably. It was Rohit Sharma who told him that wait for 1 year. For me. Wait as a coach. We'll see. What happened? In West Indies, he won the World Cup. Destiny. So you will get those opportunities, but you have to be open. If we close ourselves, if we shut ourselves, we are not going to get those opportunities.
Correct.
So always feel that no matter what background you come from, if you have the will, the passion to do, you will do everything. You can achieve anything in life. There is nothing that is difficult. But we always, like I said, we say, Arey, what if I fail? What? See, I'm in politics today. I don't know what is going to happen in my future. Today I'm enjoying my work. Maybe it will open doors for me, maybe it will not open doors for me. But that does not mean that I stop working today.
Correct.
Thinking of what will happen. Whatever will happen, I have come with my own destiny. It will happen. I have to just be open. I have to understand. I have to do whatever responsibility is given to me with utmost humility, with utmost sincerity, and things will go in your direction. But we shut ourselves.
Yeah.
We don't want to explore. We always feel scared that, and I talk to the students that don't feel scared. No one is going to say anything if you fail, and it's okay to fail at this age. There are people who failed at 40 onwards. Also, people have failed.
Correct.
Like Abraham Lincoln, he kept on failing in politics, and one fine day became the president of United States of America.
Absolutely.
You not even got elected as their local representative that time.
Correct.
So you have to. So like I said, you have to read about people. You have to understand that this is life. This is a part of life.
Yeah.
And
Tell me if you disagree. I also feel, to add to this, I feel thoda sa na you need to be mad.
yes,
थोड़ा सा पागलपन चाहिए.
yes,
To go against the
yes,
grain,
of course,
to go against people.
of course.
कोई कुछ भी बोले
Of
नहीं
course.
मेरे को तो ये करना है. I'll
करना
try
है.
this out and
Of
I'll
course.
happily fail if I
Yeah,
fail.
yeah. Of
But
course.
वो lot of times I see people who are not crazy enough to try out stuff.
Correct.
They get into the groove which is very basic.
Correct.
Then they get into the typical life.
Correct.
But there are people who go for,
You have to be risk takers, no?
Yeah.
See, Steve Jobs had only said, no? The ones who are crazy enough to change the world.
Yeah, the Indian version is risk hai to ishq hai.
Risk है तो ishq है. Correct.
But it's
Correct. You have to
It
take
is
that
so true.
risk. Yeah.
matlab, and the only thing is, yes, of course, the first policy in this is you can't regret.
No, you can't.
हाँ मतलब रिस्क भी नहीं लेना है और फिर रिग्रेट नहीं करने का मतलब बॉस ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. So
That's
risk
what I
लो,
said.
don't regret.
You have to be in the system. You have to be there.
Correct.
You have to be. You will, out of 10 times, you will fail 9 times.
Yeah.
But one time, you will get that opportunity.
Correct.
That,
And that's how that's how the world works, right?
Correct.
I mean, not every Bollywood movie is a hit. Not
Correct.
every trade or a share you buy
Correct.
is going to give you profit. So ऐसा होता ही नहीं है.
Correct.
वो 4 बार फेल होता है, वो पांचवा
Correct.
वाला 4 का लॉस और पांचवे का प्रॉफिट मिला के it
Correct.
rockets you ahead, and that's how life is.
Because you spoke about Bollywood movies, I'll tell you. So when Bazigar and Dar. Those were the stories had
Those were the
just come
times.
up. Dar was being this thing. Sunny Deol was very. He was a superstar. Juhi Chawla was a superstar. Looking for that actor who will do the villain role. They approached Amir Khan. They approached a lot of other actors, but these actors had already the chocolate boy image. They didn't want to do this. What happened was Shah Rukh Khan said, "Yes, I will do it." See, now if you would have thought that I'm just at the start of my career, I have just done 3, 4 films. How can I do such an aggressive, violent role? What will this thing? No. But today his Kiran is still something that people talk about.
Correct.
You know?
This story I've heard. Yes.
Yes. So again, life
Risk.
gave him that opportunity.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Look at him. He came from nowhere. He came from a non-Bollywood background.
Correct.
He made it to the top. There are other qualities that make a person reach the top. It is not only his this thing, but he's a sharp businessman.
Yeah.
He's a very smart businessman.
Superb guy.
Look at, I'll tell you about Amitabh Bachchan. Amitabh Bachchan, his first movies had flopped. He didn't have a movie, and he was sitting with Prakash Mehra in some hotel. Prakash Mehra had a story in mind, but he didn't know whom to cast. So he asked Amitabh that, I have a story in my mind, but I don't know whom to cast. So he said, look, I don't have a movie. I'll do the film for you. He said, if it's a flop, I said, it's okay. I've done so many flop films. It's not going to change anything. Zanjeer happened.
Correct.
Zanjeer happened. Amitabh Bachchan's whole career changed after that.
Life change.
Life change ho gaya. So we never know what opportunity comes and what opportunity changes us. So always tell that, it doesn't matter how fast, slow you're going. You have to keep on going.
Keep trying because you never know what will bring you luck.
Exactly.
तुम्हारा luck कब तुम खुद बनाओगे पता नहीं चलेगा.
Correct.
It's so crazy. And smallest of the things. It doesn't mean कि कुछ तो भी life में बहुत बड़ा करना है और फिर कुछ होगा.
Correct.
Smallest of the stuff you helping out someone can actually open up a door maybe after 5 years, not literally tomorrow.
Correct. But we have to have that patience.
Correct.
Patience is something that today's generation lacks. They're not patient. When we were in school, ideally our 1 hour lecture would be for 1 hour. It was a 1 hour this thing.
Correct.
It's coming down to 45 minutes.
My professor from my MBA days, she's still teaching. She was like, यार हम लोग का तो 2-2 घंटा रहता था.
फिर
2 घंटा 3 घंटे के लेक्चर्स चलते थे. She's like, यार kids can't even sit for 45 minutes. आधा घंटा हो जाए, they'll start pulling out their phones and they're just like distracted, like can't focus anything. Sad. I mean, it's of course the blame is also on the technology.
Correct.
कि इतना distracted life है.
I'm sorry, I'm giving a lot of examples about cricket and Bollywood and all.
But very relevant, and in fact, that's what people, of course, love. And good, I heard this Shah Rukh Khan wala story after a long time. After I've quit radio, I've given up on Bollywood. So I don't hear Bollywood stories anymore. But very interesting. And in fact, now let's also talk about politics and society. And you, as you mentioned, you entered politics and had never planned it. But tell me one thing. Is making a career in politics easy? And I'm asking from a reference of a person who's already doing a corporate job. या फिर at a very young age they're thinking कि यार I want to do something in politics. Society के लिए भी कुछ करना है. I want to get into politics. One, is there money to be made in politics as a career? की कुछ, as you mentioned, कि you do a lot of policy making.
Correct.
So can someone who's an expert in their field contribute to the government and also make money out of it? Is that possible? Or making a career in politics, as in like a proper politician and go ahead in life. Is that possible?
See, career in politics is definitely possible. It is not necessary that you have to come from a political background. Yes, in politics, you would need a godfather. But that slowly you will get someone once you are part of an organization. See, look at Arvind Kejriwal. Was he someone who had a political this thing? No, he became the CM of Delhi, There's one more politician called Mr. Raju Shetty, comes from the Western Maharashtra belt. He used to fight for the rights of the sugar industry, laborers and all these things. His first election was funded by the people. He didn't have money. वो crowd funding से हुआ था.
Oh, wow.
He won that election as an MP. mind you, not as an MLA, as an MP.
Oh,
Now, they didn't, like I said, if you have the will, anything is possible. You just have to have the will.
correct.
If you are interested in politics, politics does not mean that every time you have to contest an election. No. Bala Saheb Thackeray also did politics.
Sitting outside, हाँ.
वाजपेयी का भी एक अलग पॉलिटिक्स था.
हाँ.
सीताराम येचुरी का भी एक अलग पॉलिटिक्स था. श्री शरद पवार साहब का भी एक अलग पॉलिटिक्स है. सबके पॉलिटिक्स है, सबके अलग अलग पॉलिटिक्स है. कोई इलेक्टोरल में है, कोई उनके आइडियोलॉजी के लिए फाइट कर रहा है, कोई राइट्स के लिए फाइट कर रहा है. हर एक का एक पॉलिटिकल ये है. कोई डेवलपमेंटल पॉलिटिक्स करता है, कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल पॉलिटिक्स करता है. सो पॉलिटिक्स इज नॉट ओनली अबाउट कंपल्सरी दैट यू हैव टू contest an election. It can be join a political party and start helping people, do something good for the society.
Interesting.
Money is something that, see, it depends. Even in today in education, when I say that, I still consider, for me, I always tell my team also, consider money as a byproduct. Don't look at money. What is our main job? Our
पहले अच्छा
main
काम तो
job
करो.
is to give quality education. When we will give quality education to the students, when the students will be at a better position in life, somewhere they will realize that, Akemi groomed me or whatever. That is what our true success is. Money will automatically flow in.
Correct.
Money, consider money as a byproduct. In politics, अभी क्या होता है, पॉलिटिक्स में पैसा कमाना है तो कमा सकते हो, बट देन से अरे ये सब ब्लैक मनी है.
Correct.
So it all depends in politics. So career in politics is definitely yes, you can definitely do.
Lot of hard work. बहुत
Yes.
बहुत मेहनत है.
Yes. So you have to be in people. You don't. It's public life.
हाँ, it's a very public life.
Public life. So you don't get. So even during COVID hours, I used to get phone calls at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the night that we want a bed, we want vaccine, remdesivir, or we want medicines. So this was happening throughout the clock.
Right. But like a normal person not interested in getting into politics but wants to do something for society, and you were mentioning ki you also work in policy making.
Correct.
So how does a person like contribute by working towards the policy? Tell me more. Like, in fact, if you can give some examples also.
You can join hands with bureaucrats that I want to be a part of some policy, this thing, because now now the public private partnership has got a lot of mileage, and a lot of people are getting into this public private policy making or whatever. I'll tell you, in Delhi, when one gets selected as a member of parliament, when you go there, you have these UPSC students who want to work with some member of parliament. So what they do is, whenever you see this debate or a speech between in the parliament, it is most of the times done by these young UPSC students. Now these are all policies somewhere. Whenever you see a speech being given, 4-5 years back, Srimati Supriyatai Sule, who's an honorable MP from Baramati, had spoken about right to disconnect. No one in India knew about this concept. What is right to disconnect? I just, for my curiosity, and I tried to understand what is this, and I realized that a lot of countries are opting for this right to disconnect. What is this right to disconnect? It is that post your working hours, you should not answer to your emails, answer calls. You're completely off your work. Your work starts the next day when you reach your office. Before that, you're with your family. You're spending your own time. You're not doing anything that is office work. Recently, there was a case where one employee committed suicide because of too much of work pressure, workload. This is where right to disconnect comes into play. That once you go home, not necessarily that you have to, your boss should call you or your senior should tell you that what is the
ये काम कर लो, overtime कर लो.
yes, what is the status of this thing. No, tomorrow when she comes at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you can ask her, but not this thing. So that is a policy. So such policies have to be framed. Someone
Day-to-day life में
yes,
जो भी लगता है.
yes. Now even in our in our society, if you say, where we stay, separating your wet garbage and dry garbage is somewhere a policy decision that was taken.
Correct.
Rain harvesting. These are small policy decisions which help the government, which help the society, which help probably the environment or whatever. So that is, you can definitely get involved. A lot of NGOs are now working hand in glove with the government on making policies as to how certain things should be put into place. For example, it can be about pollution or traffic. Now you see a lot of NGOs are coming forward telling that we will help you to solve the traffic problem. Traffic problem is a big issue in
Major.
Pune. So so definitely you can join hands with, but you have to work with the bureaucrats if you want to frame any policy and all. And it is easy now. See, probably 20-25 years back, it was not easy because we had a mindset that they are IS officers, IPS officers, or who will help us. See, now a lot of people are joining hands with the police to, help during Ganpati, Visarjan activities. You see a lot of common people, good people from the good house, from the IT sector. They are helping the police.
Correct. So it's basically
The corporates are
working
coming
with
together.
correct. Working with the government
Correct.
and advising
Correct.
whatever is best. And so aisa kuch, there's no fixed rule. You can go to anyone in your
You
reach.
have, yeah.
Corporator, MLA, MP, jo
Yeah,
bhi
yeah.
pata ho, like,
Yeah.
very interesting.
But that MLA MP should also be open enough to let them in.
But I'm sure they must be. I mean,
Depends. कुछ लोगों की
at
माइंडसेट होती है, अरे ये क्यों आ रहा है, इसको खड़ा रहना है क्या,
yeah, could be
इसका क्या
that as
काम
well.
है इधर, देखता हूँ बोलता हूँ.
Correct. वो भी
But
है.
people who genuinely want to make a difference, they will let
People in and
people in and give them that. So it all depends on the leader. No, leader also has to be mature enough and secure enough to give permission to that group or community to
get
be a part
involved.
of the system.
Correct. Interesting. Good you mentioned NGOs because that's what I was coming to next. Social entrepreneurship is a great space.
Correct.
कि do something good for the society, खुद भी थोड़े पैसे कमाओ. Obviously, I mean, you need money to survive, sustain.
Correct.
Family चलाना easy नहीं है. Things are getting expensive. So, this is a good space. Tell me more about social entrepreneurship. Do you know people who are running NGOs who are also making decent money but doing stuff
I think
for...
social entrepreneurship is not a new concept. It's been there since ages.
Right. Right.
If you see, even Microsoft is a social entrepreneurship because it was affordable technology to the common people.
Right.
Tata's was a social entrepreneurship. The biggest social enterprise in India is Amul.
Yeah.
Correct? Grameen Bank, the Nobel winner, Muhammad Yunus,
Yes.
started the Grameen Bank. It is social entrepreneurship. It's been there. If you know what you want to do, you can connect it to the society. You can connect it to any part of the community. That is not a problem. Not necessarily you have to have an NGO. You can today join hands with the government in giving sustainable and environmental, counseling or consultation. You will earn money. They say in Mumbai, not in Pune. In Mumbai, they say, "Hawe mein paisa hai."
Correct. Udhar to...
So if you have the idea, you have the concept, you should be able to sell it.
Yeah. True.
So social entrepreneurship is there. Today also so many startups are being, people are getting into these startups. They can definitely link it to social entrepreneurship. That's not a problem. You should know what you want to do.
That's right.
Correct.
And sure, I mean, a place like India has many opportunities.
Many
There's so many problems to solve.
Many opportunities.
कि वो you can come up with a lot of stuff. That's there.
Lot of opportunities. Like I said, you have to be open enough. You have to know what is happening. You have to know. You need to have, when you are in that industry, you need to have a vision of what is happening. Vision is something that one needs to have. So I come back to the basics. Read as much as you can. That will give you a very different insight, perspective, what is happening, what is new. Read the newspaper. Not necessarily that you have to read autobiographies or that is something that is a personal choice.
Right.
What one wants to read,
Yeah.
but keep yourself upgraded. You exactly know where you're going.
Yeah.
You know,
That's right.
see, the first social media, online social media was, if you remember, was Orkut.
Hmm.
You know, सेम निकाला था, फ्रेंड्स को ये करो वो
Correct.
करो वगैरह. फेसबुक उसके बाद, और फेसबुक वेंट अप.
Yeah.
You know, so the reason why Facebook went up was probably because it was much more easier, or probably they came in at a time when the internet was much more cheaper, or
Correct.
you know,
Correct. It was growing.
it
Yeah.
was growing.
Yeah.
So that was an opportunity for Facebook.
Yeah. Correct.
Even the social media chat, see, social media में पहले सबसे आया BBM.
Hmm.
BBM पिन हम लोग शेयर करने के.
Correct. My God, that was one thing. Yeah.
Suddenly WhatsApp came. Now people can't live without WhatsApp.
Seriously.
You know?
Seriously. And I remember, of course, like this was 15 years back or so. वो BBM use करते करते WhatsApp had come. I don't remember the exact year. But I was telling my friend, अरे क्या है ये WhatsApp है? BBM is so secure. Like, why would someone use WhatsApp? Internet लगता है. Obviously, तब तो like एक MB के
हाँ,
लिए
एक MB के
कितना
लिए.
पैसा लगता था. I was like, boss, who will use it? But of course, I mean, the data got cheaper and
Everything got
Zoom,
cheaper,
हाँ, मतलब
So it
Crazy.
all starts opening up, no?
correct.
See, Apple came in 2005-6. We just knew what Apple is. We were seeing it on this thing, but we were happy with our Nokia phones.
Yeah.
Then came BlackBerry.
Correct.
But one fine day, Apple just shot up.
Boom, yeah, correct.
Today, my whole ecosystem is Apple. My iPad, my MacBook, my
You can't exit.
You can't exit.
Correct.
You know.
Correct. That is true. That is
So
true.
how smartly they have played with your minds,
Yeah.
that they've ensured that your whole ecosystem becomes Apple.
True.
Your iWatch,
Yeah.
उसमें उन्होंने fitness डाला. See how technology changes. Now the new
crazy.
iWatch is giving your ECG and everything. You know,
Yeah.
the latest upgraded version.
It's crazy.
It's crazy how things are changing. That is where people have to understand that this is where things are changing. How can we survive and
Thrive, so to say.
thrive
कि, हाँ,
yeah,
कि
in these conditions?
opportunity कहाँ पे भी मिल सकता है.
Technology changes
That is
every
true.
6 months.
That is true. So now let's come to the last part, which is talking about politics, but in office space. And so you still seem to be a very young guy for politics generally. So I'm sure you're the youngest in the room when you do meetings.
Office politics is in my office also, so I'm quite aware of the whole this thing. But I think one needs to remain calm. Office politics is going to be there everywhere. It's a global problem.
Yeah.
You know.
Unintended. वो मतलब ऐसा भी नहीं है कि someone is trying to do stuff, but it just happens.
Correct.
चार लोग आ गए तो वहाँ पे खिचड़ी तो पकेगी.
Correct.
True.
So one needs to remain calm. One needs to focus on your work, and just get through to it. There is no other. You cannot run away from it. You cannot say, because you'll leave one organization because of office politics. अरे मेरे को mental harassment है, मैं दूसरी जगह था, उधर भी वही होने वाला है.
Correct.
So might as well get used to your this thing. So it is very important to we never focus on ourselves. We always focus on things around us. You have to focus on ourselves. That okay, these are my strong points, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses.
Yeah.
I can deal with this. There are going to be toxic people everywhere.
True.
It's human nature,
Yeah.
to be toxic. Yeah, they will be negative. They will probably, say negative things. They will try to see that your confidence gets low. Everything. You have to learn to survive. It's the survival of the fittest.
Correct. वो प्रॉब्लम तो हर जगह रहता ही है, कुछ ना कुछ.
It's everywhere.
Maybe politics, could be money, could be there's a lot of stuff.
I face that in political party also. That if I'm doing something good, the other person feels, is he going to contest? इसका काम मत करो. These things are there.
Insecurity लोगों को रहती है.
Insecurity, it's a natural thing.
True. But how has your experience shaped your understanding? So now, keeping calm, like thinking in a positive way, कि भाई ये सब जगह है तो अपना फायदा देखो खुद. अपना क्यों नुकसान करके लेना. That is
You
there.
have to be confident enough to know that I'm on the right track. These people are going to be there.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's perfectly fine.
Correct.
I need not get bogged down by this negativity. There is negativity everywhere.
See, I see a lot of people who just quit because of either bad bosses, politics. ये वो सब बहुत रहता है. In fact, it's a common saying कि, people don't quit companies, they quit bad bosses. And that's also part of politics
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
obviously someone's trying to squeeze as much work as they can from you and
Yeah,
then,
yeah,
of
yeah.
course, take the credit or whatever for whatever reason. So, वो एक है. But tell me one thing. See, the idea behind starting this channel was also that honest, good people need a conversation that they can listen to
Correct.
and watch, saying ki boss, like, Arey, I'm not alone. See, I some sincerely believe there are like most of the world is filled with good people.
Correct.
नहीं तो दुनिया चलेगी नहीं,
चलेगी नहीं.
right? But of course, there's that few bad apples that just basically ruin the whole game for
Correct.
everyone.
Correct.
And we think we generalize कि अरे यार लोग ऐसे ही होते
ऐसे
हैं.
होते हैं. Correct.
But what I feel is honest people are sometimes weak is not the right word, but somehow they just say, I don't want this. Let me just quit. Like, yeah, this is not my place. Uh, Generally, if someone is too honest and too naive, what would you tell them? Apart from, of course, the advice that you've already given, but somehow वो survival guide में क्या? What's your key uh,
See, I'll
advice?
tell you what. Uh, Again, I said, being honest or naive does not mean that you're a weak person.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
You should have the fight to survive in any environment. That is important.
पानी में कूदना पड़ेगा swimming
कूदना
सीखना है
पड़ेगा.
तो.
You have to have that inside you.
Correct.
You are see, it's part of life. Take it as a learning.
Yeah.
Sometimes bad bosses can also be a good learning experience. They teach you.
कुछ ना कुछ तो अच्छा निकलता है
Exactly.
उस experience में से
That's
भी.
why I said, no, you have to be open. Be open in your life. Don't close yourself.
Correct.
The more open you are, you will learn new things. You will learn, yeah. Okay, he is that kind of person. Even in our family, not everyone is same, no. पर हम चला के लेते हैं.
Correct.
Correct.
क्या हाँ, घर वालों को थोड़ी बोलते मैं छोड़ दूंगा.
तुम्हारे सबके साथ तो नहीं बनती है ना. पर ऐसा थोड़ी बोलते आई क्विट.
Yeah, correct.
अभी आज से मेरे माँ बाप दूसरे हैं.
Correct.
ऐसा नहीं बोलते.
Yeah, correct.
होता है. Every phase or this thing you cannot change. So you learn to deal with the person.
Yeah.
So you know कि ये आदमी को मेरे लाइफ में कितना जगह देने का है. If he is bothering you so much, then that person has control over you. You should not let anyone control you. You have to be in control.
True.
So it's always better that you be in your own space.
Yeah.
Keep on doing your work. Quitting is not the solution to everything.
True.
Don't quit. And honesty, we've learned honesty is the best policy. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Honesty pays.
So true. Long term
Honesty
में
pays.
वही है.
ऐसा नहीं है. कभी भी ऐसा नहीं होता है कि मैं honest हूँ. You should be honest to yourself.
Yeah.
You should be. If when I'm doing my work, I'm doing it with utmost honesty. In politics, there is no one to appreciate your work. Let me tell you, it's a thankless job. No one will put a pat on your back. You said you did a good job. No, ये तुम्हारा काम ही है. कोई appreciation नहीं होता है. But when end of the day, when I go to sleep, I know I've not done anything wrong.
Yeah.
Whatever efforts I've put in were to the best of my ability. I was honest enough to put those efforts in. I don't care about the results. Whatever will happen, will happen.
True.
And I'm telling you, destiny has a way of giving back. Again, I'll repeat it. And it does give you back. But you have to be patient. You have to remain calm. So people who don't, a lot of times I meet people who say, I don't have patience. I cannot stay calm. Meditate. Do things that you like. Keep 1 hour of that activity has to be for yourself. That will, keep you calm.
Yeah.
Make your life happy internally. Do anything.
वो disconnect करना बहुत जरूरी है.
Disconnect करना जरूरी है. So it is not that just because you're honest, you will not survive. Honest people will also survive.
वो लंबा वो टेस्ट मैच है. T20 नहीं है वो.
Patience. Patience.
True. True.
Rahul Dravid, again I'm telling you. He survived, no?
Correct.
उसका पहला करियर अगर देखोगे तो कैसा बोलने का रही है, कैसा खेल रहा है.
Correct.
वन डे भी टेस्ट जैसे खेलता था.
Correct.
But he survived.
Yeah.
He knew that his strengths. He knew he had confidence in himself. He didn't let the media bog down his ability. He had faith in his abilities.
Correct.
For a sports person, Media is the most terrible thing that
हाँ,
is in
जालिम
this thing.
जालिम है.
They can मतलब पूरा तुम्हारा कुंडली निकाल देते.
Correct.
You have to know that I'm going to read this or I'm not going to read it.
Yeah.
It should not affect my game or my personal uh,
Mindset.
mindset
And like, yeah.
before a match.
True.
Because most of the times I still read. You open the newspaper before any big game, तो पहले weaknesses ही डाल देते.
हाँ.
पहले weakness डाल
ये
देते.
प्रॉब्लम आ सकता है. team
ये
को.
प्रॉब्लम आ सकता है, ये प्रॉब्लम आ सकता है. I have never seen a newspaper write good positive things.
Yeah. But same is the case with politics also. मतलब politicians को भी
That's what
कितना
I
face
said.
करना
No, in
पड़ता है.
politics it is the same thing.
वो
It is
तो
the same thing.
घर वालों पे उतर जाते हैं. वो तो मतलब उसको भी
Correct.
घर वालों को भी नहीं छोड़ते हैं. वो तो
Correct.
मतलब same with cricket and politics.
Correct.
Both Bollywood
It
as
is
well.
life. No, it is life.
True.
It is life.
True. हाँ, at least corporate career में no one's coming to talk about your family. At least
Correct.
that
Correct.
stays with you.
Correct.
That's there.
Correct.
No, but
So
very true.
we have to have that will to survive, because it is eventually survival of the fittest.
You
They
have
will.
to,
They
yeah.
will survive.
You have to go
Yeah, yeah.
fight it.
Fight it.
So true. So
जंगल में भी तो दो शेर लड़ते
हाँ.
उनकी टेरिटरी के लिए.
correct.
वो थोड़ी बोलता रही उसका नहीं, ये मेरा टेरिटरी कैसे बनेगा. वो इट्स द रूल ऑफ नेचर.
Yeah.
इट्स द रूल ऑफ नेचर.
So true. That's there.
तो एक if there's a deer, if the deer is weak, he will get eaten.
Yeah.
But if he is strong, he is going to
He'll scoot. Yeah.
survive. Not all the deer get eaten. No,
Yeah.
there are the ones who survive their uh,
Survive the jungle.
yeah,
Survive
survive.
wild. Crazy.
So it is. I always say it is about mindset.
Yeah. So true.
It's
So
about
true.
mindset.
No, I think long-term mindset and keep at it. That's the best way to
Correct.
do well in life. In general, time is a great equalizer. यार.
Yeah.
End में rear view mirror में कौन है और आगे कौन है वो सब समझ में आ जाता है. मतलब that's there.
And in life, there will be times when there is standstill. These things will come up.
Correct.
But you have to get through to it. वो struggle हर एक के life में है. कोई नहीं ऐसा नहीं है. Even Amitabh Bachchan, when he started ABCL, he went through a bad phase.
Oh, so bad phrase. मतलब वो क्या था?
Till the time he got Mohpate and then KBC.
KBC.
And from there he just went up. अभी अगर वो बोलता था मैं एक टाइम पे सुपरस्टार रहा हूँ, मेरे लाइफ में ऐसे कैसे होगा, वैसे नहीं था.
Correct.
He kept his patience.
Yeah.
A sports person has the same thing. Similarly in lives, now these are public figures. These are people we see on screen. These
Judged
are people we
every
idolize.
day.
Correct? Judged every day.
Yeah.
हमारे लाइफ में हम लोग ये करते हैं ना,
Yeah.
तो हमको करना चाहिए.
Hey, imagine your performance being reviewed by people who have never even touched a bat in the last 10 years, 15 years.
Correct. They give him
But तुमको बता रहा है
कैसे बैटिंग करने का या कैसे एक्टिंग करने का.
Correct. Absolutely.
So there are coming back to this thing, corporate politics will be there. I think it's just one needs to remain calm
Yeah.
and find. छोड़ा तो किधर जाओगे छोड़ के,
Yeah.
घर पे थोड़ी बैठना है.
अपना देखो, अपना खाने का इंतजाम करो यार.
And tomorrow even if you become an entrepreneur, the same things are going to happen.
वो तो अभी clients के साथ होगा
Because
फिर बाहर की parties के साथ होगा.
Not even in your office.
Yeah.
Your 5 different people will be, or 5 people will be different in their attitude, nature, everything.
Correct. उनको
You
संभालते
have to
बैठो.
understand किसका क्या स्किल है, किसको कितना काम देना है, क्या काम देना है,
Yeah.
कौन टीम प्लेयर है, कौन इंडिविजुअल पे काम करता है.
Correct.
You have to understand this as an entrepreneur.
So true.
So you will get this thing. And always, like I said, be patient and be calm.
Absolutely.
I've been doing that for many years.
Likewise. I've been very patient. In fact, very thankful to all those almost 460 odd subscribers right now today. And I'm hoping, of course, it will grow. 2 months, the channel has done so well. So thanks to, of course, guests like you as well, that the channel has grown. People are liking these conversations.
I'm sure it will grow even more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coming.
So वो positive outlook long term है. आज का देखना ही नहीं है. Short term gains are never my game.
Never
So
more,
yeah, absolutely.
And they don't last long.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
don't last long.
Correct.
The
वो
long term में मजा है.
करेक्ट वो
देर
आना चाहिए
लगेगी,
ना. अरे
but वो-
क्या भी टाइम था उस टाइम पे, क्या किया था, आज देखो किधर आ गए. वो ऑब्वियसली होता ही है.
देर लगती है पर वो फाउंडेशन सॉलिड हो जाता है.
Absolutely. Amazing. This was such a lovely conversation, Abhishek. And I'm hoping that you'll make an appearance again soon.
If you invite me, we can talk about We can talk about anything under the sun.
Absolutely.
There's so many
absolutely.
topics to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Awesome.
you.
Don't forget to subscribe. Of course, you'll join the very elite gang of around 500 odd subscribers who are on the show. But I must thank if you're a subscriber and if you've liked this kind of a podcast, I would really like to thank you because इतने छोटे समय में 500 सब्सक्राइबर्स मिलना बहुत मुश्किल है. And if it's happening that I'm doing something right, so thank you so much for the appreciation that you're showing by subscribing to the channel. There's more content like this. I'm sharing honest advice with my monologues as well. So check out the YouTube channel if you're seeing this for the first time. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.